the relics of man's past, abandoned and crumbling churches, the decaying profile of a castle. The relics of man's past, abandoned and crumbling churches, the decaying profile of a castle. They add a sad beauty to a landscape. By day, they comfort us with the knowledge that this land has a history. But at night, when our superstitions are so much closer to the surface, they uncover our primitive fears. On the night of Friday, September the 13th, 1963, something strange happened in this place, the ruined keep of Castle Rising between King's Lynn and Sandringham. At dawn, a workman unlocking the door of the 800-year-old keep found this. 2 human effigies, the top one male, the bottom one female, and between them, a soot-blackened sheep's heart, pierced by 13 hawthorn twigs. And on the ground nearby, 2 symbols drawn in soot. 4 months later, at the crumbling church of St. James at Borsey, about 3 miles south of Castle Rising, 2 King's Lynn schoolboys found this. Again, the sheep's heart, pierced by hawthorn twigs. But this time, no effigies. Instead, on the ground in the center of the bell tower, a black circle with a black candle at its center. Here, just a few days ago, more symbols were found in another ruined church, Babingley Church, just a mile north of Castle Rising. An 11-year-old boy who had been fishing in the river came to explore the ruins of this church. Once the center of a thriving village, a village that was probably wiped out by the plague or by malaria, the scourge of the fens. And in the bell tower, he found this. A wax female effigy, again with a thorn through its heart. Above it, a solitary black candle. And on the ground beneath, the now familiar sheep's heart. 3 occurrences in 5 months. The work of a practical joker, a crank, or someone dabbling in black magic. And black magic is, after all, only the church ritual of the pre-Christian religion, the religion of Pan. This ritual can be used, as Christians use prayer, to invoke happiness, and then it's white magic. Or it can be used for evil purposes, as Christians use curses, and then it's black magic. But white or black, it's rooted in paganism. And these days, 1500 years after Christianity was really established in Britain, one doesn't expect to find anyone taking paganism seriously enough to go to the trouble of practicing its ritual in a spot like this. And yet, this is Norfolk, and a part of Norfolk that remained inaccessible and cut off from England by the swamps and marshes of the fens. Even in this century, fenland villages remained which were totally enclosed communities, where traces of pagan superstition and ritual were preserved. The writer, F.R. Buckley, has made a special study of the subject. Do you think that this is the work of a practical joker, even if rather a macabre practical joker, of some crank or of somebody who really believes in black magic?
No, I rule out the practical joker, absolutely. You see, in the first place, the practical joker wants to see the result of his practical joke. He wants it before the public. Now, all these manifestations have been in very retired places. They were only discovered by chance. In the second place, the chap who did it, or the woman who did it, I rather think, knows the symbols. In the third place, the whole thing, in my view, works up into a perfectly logical story. One manifestation follows the other. And then, of course, of the 2 areas in England where I would expect this kind of thing to happen, the Cotswold is one, but this, even more, is another, because through the ages, Norfolk has been riddled with witchcraft. Well, here you see we have the symbols, a male symbol and a female symbol. They're done in soot here. They should be in the ashes of the witch's fire. We'll come back to them in a minute. But this, the castle door, was the display they had on here. This was the important thing. You wouldn't mind holding that for a minute. Now, the setup was this. You had here the male figure, there, with a hawthorn spike through his heart. Here you had the sheep's heart, with 13 hawthorn twigs driven through it. And here you have the female figure, also pierced through the heart with hawthorn twigs. Now, This, in my view, amounts to a public statement of the case. The castle door is the most public place. It's the center of the district, you see. We have here this female figure, the heart and male, all pierced, and this, I think, amounts to this. This man and this woman, I allude to them as the man and the mistress, are having an affair. And the girl in the case doesn't like it.
The girl who put them here?
The girl who put them here, yes. And she wishes to break up this affair, and she's trying to do it by witchcraft. I should imagine she's a woman probably in her 20s, and possibly being advised to this course of action by an older woman who inherits an old tradition from some village in the fens, you see. This wishes that pain shall come to his heart, pain shall come to her heart, and that pain has come to the heart of the postulant, that is to say, of the girl. These things were put up here at the waning of the moon. That means that the affair, as the moon wanes, so will the affair wane, she hopes. And the position of this heart, juxtaposed to the female figure, in my view always, means that she blames this affair on the mistress in the case, who is quite possibly, I should think, an older woman. And you have there the statement of the case, the protest, in other words, which is here.